Hello, my name is Carolyn Pickrell, and I'd like to welcome you to English 109X. I am the coordinator for the 109X program. When you start the first week of class, you will have a highly trained tutor who will be facilitating and coordinating the class, and you will meet the tutor on the first day of class. You'll notice my name on your course schedule, and I'm the one who eventually will file grades for the class. 109X, as you know, is a course that requires a placement score of 70 on the WPJ, and students take this class in combination with their writing intensive course. So in order to continue and take 109X, you must meet two qualifications. One, have a placement score of 70 on the WPJ, and also be enrolled in a writing intensive course. If you're on a wait list for a writing intensive course, we do give you some time to get that handled, but if you are not enrolled in a writing intensive, then you cannot continue to take the 109X course. You'll have to wait until a semester where you're actually taking a writing intensive course. So I wanted to talk today a little bit about the class and our expectations for the class. Your tutor will also review this with you on the first day of the course and go through the syllabus and grading contract. So the first thing I wanted to do was just to talk a little bit about what the class is about. It's a credit, no credit course, and it's meant to give students a space where they can give and receive feedback and reflect on their writing processes in order to support them in their writing intensive class. So you will meet one day in class with the tutor, and that will primarily focus on giving and receiving feedback on your writing. And then the online part of the course will involve reading or reviewing materials and then posting on the discussion board and interacting with your peers. Many of the discussions center around writing, peer review, and ways to further develop those processes. The tutor also is available to give mini lessons on various topics, so you as a class may feel that you need some more instruction on research, for example, and the tutor can find some materials and bring those in so that you as a class can work through that particular topic. So one thing to keep in mind is this is a student-led tutorial, so you are responsible for collaborating with your peers, participating and giving feedback, and making decisions about what kinds of information the class needs to further enhance their writing and collaboration. In the end, we have some learning outcomes in mind. We'd like you to be more aware of your writing processes, have an increased understanding of how to give and receive feedback, talk more about conventions in your various academic areas and how conventions of writing might affect the writing that you're doing. And then being able to reflect critically on your own writing, your processes, assess your skills and self-editing techniques, and figure out where you're at and where you might need additional help. In order to receive credit for the tutorial, it's fairly simple. We ask you to do really three things. One is to attend and participate in accordance with the policy, and we'll talk a little bit more about that when we go to look at the grading contract. Also, you need to be bringing in writing to share with the group. The tutor will ask you to sign up for particular days where you'll be responsible for bringing in your copies of your writing for workshopping. Those who never share any writing during the semester cannot earn credit for the tutorial. And then the third thing are two-page papers that are assigned. One is at mid-semester, and often that one we will use in class for you to workshop and gather feedback. And then the second paper is at the end of the term a final paper reflecting on what you've learned in the class. And the rest of the syllabus has additional information which the tutor will review with you on the first day. I want to go to the grading contract and talk specifically about how to receive credit in the class. So first thing is to attend and participate. Second is to bring in writing to share. Third would be writing those 2 papers. And in addition to this, be aware of the Sac State Academic Honesty Policy. There's a link to that in the syllabus. And basically what this means is that plagiarizing or anything that would be considered even unintentional plagiarism cannot be tolerated in the class. This is a writing class and you should be doing your own writing. So review that policy as well. In terms of attendance, you can have up to 4 absences or 2 weeks of class. Anyone that is absent more than 2 weeks of class cannot receive credit for the class. But absences are not just being absent from a class meeting. It might also mean not completing the online work. And so I want to talk a little bit about what constitutes a single absence. So obviously, if you don't come to the tutorial meeting that week, that's an absence. If you are scheduled to bring writing, or the tutor has asked students to bring writing and you don't bring anything, that also could be an absence because you're not ready to participate in the activities that day. Arriving late or leaving early more than 15 minutes is an absence. These are short 50-minute tutorials, so we expect you to be there the full time. Tardies can add up. This would be if you're within that 15 minutes, but it's after the tutor has taken roll. So after 4 tardies, we'll call that an absence. If you're asked to leave, you're off task or disruptive, not participating, that could also be an absence. And then the last thing would be failure to complete a discussion post or failure to post on time. As a group, you'll decide what day of the week and time the discussion posts are due, and they need to be in on time. You can, with up to 2 discussion posts, turn them in late as long as you make arrangements with your tutor immediately following. So maybe you miss the post for that week, you show up to class, talk with the tutor and say, hey, I turned this in late. Could you please look at it and give me credit? So that can happen up to 2 times and not be considered for an absence. After that, miss or late posts won't be accepted. So the tutor will ask you to sign the grading contract on the first day of class, just letting us know that you understand what you need to do in order to receive credit for the class. The last thing I wanted to talk with you about today is the online portion of the class. And let me get to that. Once you have access to the online portion of the course, it will look something like this. There will be a menu over on the side. The main place to start is the course content. And once we get in there, I can show you what's available. This gives you week-by-week assignments. The assignments are in a series of modules, and the tutor will assign you a particular module each week to complete. For most of them, there will be some sort of introduction instructions, and then you can read through those to see what tasks are required for the week. It might be reading something and then completing a discussion, and there will be a link to the discussion board. Most of the discussion boards just have a link to launch the discussion. Once you get there, you'll have to click on Create a Thread in order to see the instructions for that particular discussion, and then you can type your discussion response below. But each module has instructions and information and then a link to the discussion. So when you are in class each week, the tutor will let you know which module you'll be working for that particular week, and remind you also of when the discussion board is due. So I look forward to working with you. Welcome again to English 109X, and I hope you will enjoy meeting with your tutor on the first day of class. Thank you.